So, jiu-jitsu practice, not so good. As you can tell, I'm not faking it. I literally can't move any part of my arm. Well, not necessarily. I haven't seen the back of my elbow yet, but if I hold here, it feels slightly better, so something is probably not as tight as it's supposed to be anymore. But besides that, I still have finger movement. It still hurts though. And then elbow movement is there, shoulder movement's there, so that's decent. It just hurts moving basically in any position, supination, pronation, flexion, extension. So we'll kind of see how this is. This is pretty much day one, 30 minutes in, just a crap load of rapid release pain reliever. So have it hanging here is actually hurting right now, so I'm going to try to see if I need support or something. So that's not good. So basically, just an update on my injury. It's pretty much, what time is it? It's like almost 1, right? So it's probably about 14 hours into my injury. Yesterday I literally couldn't move my arm without pain. It was pretty excruciating, any position. Even if I moved my hip, my elbow was hurting. Even if I moved my foot, my elbow was hurting. So I just pretty much tried to lie down. Even in lying position, it was in extreme amounts of pain, to the point where my arm was eventually shaking and it was out of control. But now it's much more settled. I just literally couldn't move in bed, so I had to try to stay within one position. And it was finally kind of relieved in that one position. So yesterday I pretty much had to hang my arm around my waistline. But now I can move most of my arm, especially contra-specific, so basically in the opposite direction of how I got hurt. And when I got hurt, I basically posted on my right arm backwards, diagonally to the right. So the most comfortable positions are actually opposite of that for my shoulders, so literally in front of it or more to the side, so in this position. Especially if I move slow, for the most part the pain is gone. Anything with speed, doesn't matter which position, still decently hurts, but nothing excruciating anymore. The elbow brace did a significant number, really trying to help whatever needs to be held in place there. So that's doing a lot for it. For the most part, I have movement, especially I can move my shoulder now. Some elbow movements are okay. Some shoulder movements are okay, especially going towards this direction. So before I can even lift, now I have some degree of movement, but there is still some pain. So as you can see, I can move my arm now. So we'll see how it goes as I venture on. So this is kind of the afternoon, 14 hours in, so we'll get a checkup later and see what's going on. So it's pretty much like almost 2 weeks now since I've actually recorded something about my elbow. As you can tell, there's pretty much no brace, but if you look at it from this angle, it's kind of at a weird angle. This is actually its resting position. Most of the swelling has gone down in both the hand and the elbow, and as you can notice, I can pretty much move it. The only problem is that resting position is there for a reason. If you can see the elbow right now, this is the actual point of the elbow. This is not supposed to be here. So once the swelling went down, I could actually see what's going on. But this bone is out of place, and it's preventing me from doing full flexion extension. I believe it's a bone anyway. Feels like one. But pretty much, this is actually how much I feel like I can literally go. There's no pain when I do this. There's no pain when I do this. On rotation, once I go to within that area, it starts to hurt a little bit, but nothing too crazy. For the most part, I can lift actually with this hand. I can't really bend the elbow with weight, more so not because it hurts, but this area locks up where this bone is actually. It literally shift and then shift back into place. But I do have hand motion, you know, all of them pretty much, flexion, extension, so forth and so on. My wrist, on the other hand, if you can tell here, it can't bend nearly as much as it used to. Same thing with here, and this probably has to do with the way it's set up here. this really just, it doesn't hurt, it just feels like a tremendous stretch all through the top. So that's pretty much what's going on. But pretty much within week 1, so from that Wednesday to the next Wednesday, I was pretty much okay. I had to get another elbow brace, because the one I had before in one of the videos, it was literally just a single brace which held just either the top or bottom depending on where I put it. The only issue with it is it didn't feel as good. It still had some issues. So then I had a brace that basically went bottom and top. I couldn't find a specific elbow brace, so I ended up having to use like a smaller knee brace to do it. But that helped a lot. Really brought back a lot more motion faster. So that's pretty much what I was using for a while. But for the most part now it's okay, and I'm still able to lift with it. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. And then pretty much we'll just kind of see what it feels like after I get it. If it is dislocated, then I'll see what it's like afterwards. Heard it's a bitch to get it relocated in, so we'll see kind of how that goes, and maybe I can record it or not. So one of the big things with my elbow is I have a currently partial ligament sprain. It's either a 1st degree or 2nd degree. I haven't been able to get it on MRI. But in general, within the first 2 weeks of the elbow sprain, I already had quite a considerable amount of range of motion. Currently right now, I have a little bit more than 90. I'm still kind of in extension, as you can see. I mean, I can't fully go into elbow extension yet, but for the most part I don't have pain. There are some small movements, small ranges of motion that do bring about pain, but I will have to say that my recovery process is so much faster because of all the gym movements that I've applied so far, or the gym movement theories that I've applied so far. And because of that, I mean, especially when you're in a sport where the idea is to either kill, basically kill you, break a joint, fight to the death kind of stuff. The general idea here for me was really, if I can recover faster than the other guy, I can get back to training better. And that's one of the big things, is not only are you training better than everybody else, and even the fact that it looks easier, you still know that you're doing it better than everybody else. But also the idea that even when you're injured, or even when something happens to you that kind of puts you out of training for a little bit, you're still able to train, but not only are you able to train, but you're able to recover that much faster. So again, I want to thank Frankie for kind of introducing me to the gym movement concepts, and as well as inviting me to all the certifications that he's kind of taught so far. And it's really enlightened me and really helped my clients in terms of what's going on for them. So again, I want to thank Frankie. Thank you for teaching me quite a lot of things, and really helping my jiu-jitsu game as well as my MMA game. Alright, thank you very much. My name is Daryl again, and see ya.